Okay guys, I hope you had some fun redrafting those sentences and trying to eliminate the uses of the out of the sentences. Let's see if your answers are similar to mine. Okay, so question number 1. The completion of the project must happen before the signing of the document. So as I was reading that out, I was trying to give you that tempo I was talking about, the way that you can identify an unnecessarily long sentence. It has that kind of tempo to it. So how can we redraft those two of those out of the sentence? Simple. We must complete the project before signing the document. So we've got a number of things happening here. First of all, we've eliminated the nominalization. Problem with nominalizations, as I said in lessons 3 and 4, is that they don't identify who is doing it, whilst the active voice does. So identify who is doing the action. We must complete. That way it's clear to everyone. We must complete the project before signing the document. For question number 2, the meeting of the shareholders will be at the end of July. So here at the end of the sentence, I've got of July. So here, even though it's not an of the, it is an unnecessary of. So how can we redraft this? Well, we can say this. The shareholders meeting will be on the 31st of July. I don't like, and as I said this before in previous videos, I don't like ambiguity. The end of July, what does that mean? No one knows. It could be the 31st, it could be the 30th, it could be the last week of July, it could be even the second half of July. It's open to interpretation. Why not just be specific? The 31st of July. And of course, we get rid of that of. Now, shareholders meeting, what I've done here is I've used shareholders as an adjectival form, as an adjective. So we've got article, adjective, noun. Okay. Now, this has got a number of advantages. I talked about this in the definitions video last week, where we don't have to worry about possessive apostrophes, because possessive apostrophes means you have to know how many shareholders. Is there one or are there two? So by using an adjective, it avoids that possible complication or that possible potential mistake. Possible potential mistake? Didn't need to say that. That potential mistake. In the event of the loss of the company in Q4, we must. So here we've got this illegal prepositional phrase at the beginning, in the event of, which then leads into the noun. So here we've got an unnecessary of the. How can we replace that? Simply if. If the company incurs a loss, and here I've introduced a main verb, incurs a loss, to rephrase loss of the company. Okay, remember, verbs are our friends. Verbs are the most important part of a sentence, so we should use strong verbs to communicate a message, which is what I've done here. The views of the shareholders must be known in respect of the decision issued against us. So we've got two things here. The views of the shareholders in respect of the decision. So views of the shareholders, how can we deal with this? Now, in the second example, I said the shareholders meeting. So what kind of meeting? A shareholders meeting. So an adjective works here. But for this one, what kind of views? Shareholder views? Not so sure. Views belong to people. That relationship is a little bit more definite than, for example, what kind of meeting. So here I prefer a possessive apostrophe. So we have to know how many shareholders. I've assumed that this is plural shareholders. So that means the position of the possessive apostrophe shows you this. So we must find out the shareholders' views. And then we've got this legal prepositional phrase, in respect of, and then it introduces a noun, which is another of the. We can simply replace this by saying regarding the decision issued against us, which is just disappearing behind my shoulder here. Two more of those out of the picture. And then we've got the plans of the board will change in view of the change of the law. So here we've got three of those to deal with. I'm sure you had fun thinking about how you can redraft this. This is my suggestion. The board's plan, possessive apostrophe, will change because, so in view of the, simply becomes because, another legal prepositional phrase disappears. The law has changed. So what I've done here is the original is the change of the law. So here we've got a noun and then another noun, the change of the law. What I've done here is I've used a verb form. Once again, use verbs. They are your friends. Even if it's a perfect form, Even if the verb is a passive, use a verb. Trust me, it makes your writing that much better. So because the law has changed. So that way we've managed to get rid of 3 uses of the.